What's up, family? It's your boy. You already know what it is. I want to welcome you on behalf of my wife and myself to the Truth Moment podcast. We're so happy and grateful that you guys decided to rock with us and come on this journey with us. Listen, it's going to be a night of laughter, a night of love, as well as a night of learning. So this is what I need you to do. Go get some pads and some papers. Nah, I'm just playing with you. Listen, fellas, get your ladies, get some popcorn or some snacks and drinks and get ready because it's about to start in just a few moments. Power to show you that. So in front of our family and our friends, I would love to know if you would do me the honor of being my wife. Will you marry me? For this night I pray. Just in case you can't see the finger shaking. What's up, family? What's going on? Y'all see I'm solo dolo tonight. I fired my wife. She got on my nerves, so I fired her. I said she can't be on the show no more. So I'm looking for some beautiful, bad, attractive, gorgeous women who want to be my new co-host, my new co-partner for the Truth Moment podcast. Now I'm joking. The lady, she's over there taking care of some business. But we're not going to hold you long tonight, but we're going to sure enough be strong. And I'm about to bring the fellas in. How about that? The fellas we've gathered ourselves again. We got something to say. And this time we're going to make sure that we deal with the essence of the conversation. So let's bring in the boys. Here comes Chris. Biha. Here comes KG, also known as Greg. Here comes Uncle Kev.
You.
Here comes Dash. All right, so we in the building. Fellas, how y'all feeling tonight?
You're tired. Good, man.
Yeah.
Can't call it.
That's what's up. I'm good. So, did y'all see the ladies episode? Did y'all see the ladies give it in?
If that's what you want to call it. Yeah.
How did you guys feel?
That's what you would call it?
Uh-oh. I saw Q Shadow. Here she go. Uh-oh.
Quentin.
Here she go.
I have arrived.
We know.
Y'all know she couldn't be too far away from your boy.
Every chance I get, I gotta make sure I'm here in the building.
So last week the ladies ain't come to play, y'all. They came to let it.
Hat on top of your hat, Q?
You know it. Double hats. Don't play. Don't try. Don't try me. Don't try me tonight, Bijan. I'm not. You know what?
Oh man,
it's too hot for two hats.
You know what, Chris? Don't start.
But she said not in her house.
Not in my house, okay.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Dash. There you go.
I just
see
knew
you
everybody was
guys.
gonna have on the hat, and everybody has on the hat.
Yeah, I mean, it's the boys' club. It's the fellas.
Oh,
So-
yeah. Hold up. You're going to get me with your shirt on, T-Bye.
My hair not done. He got on another shirt?
Yeah.
Who said their hair not done?
Greg.
Why,
Yeah,
Greg?
I'm with you, KG. My hair looking
Bijan
crazy.
made sure that this time his audio was correct. He got the whole speaker. He got
Come on.
Right,
It's about to record
This
out.
is sanctified. Holy Ghost filled.
this time around. Oh, y'all, I got to say, honey.
I see you. I see you.
Y'all over here really trying to look good for the
That's
broadcast.
what's up.
I look good every day.
Well, we can't help the women ain't think enough about themselves to do the same.
No, what you won't do that,
Yeah.
Kevin.
I don't have to. They did.
Kevin, what you won't
Kevin,
do
you
is that
eating, bro?
it's
Bro, this is the first meal I had all day. Don't judge me, please. I'm
That's right.
sorry.
I'm hungry too, man. I'm asking.
it's peace, not love. Can we stay on topic though, y'all? Because y'all really ranting on here
Oh,
tonight.
so
He
yeah,
was cool until you came.
Are you introducing us again?
y'all
You made me sound real nice.
The only one that didn't get an introduction was KG. So for y'all who don't know, I'm going to introduce you to the original Big Bro. No shade, no jabs.
The Big Bro.
No shade, no jabs to nobody else. But Greg is like, he was everybody's role model. He was everybody's inspiration. He broke all of our hearts when he left to go to the Navy, but we understand why he did what he did. He is an entrepreneur. He is a businessman. He is a college graduated, educated brother, father of some of the most adorable kids in the world. He is mentor, role model, you know what I'm saying, inspiration to many.
And he's his cousin, child. That's why he's doing all of this extra name. But that's his cousin.
Cool out.
You
We let the girls get all of these.
Yeah, we let y'all have that time.
Listen, Linda. First off, we didn't even introduce the way we normally introduce ourselves. This is the Truth Moment podcast. I'm sorry, these guys are over here ranting for our listeners. This is Quanisha and my lovely husband.
You already know what it is. Boys' night.
Mr. Bennett, and we have the men again.
Again, 2 times.
We have the men again, and hopefully this time.
No, what you're not going to do is that.
Hopefully we don't get the people riled up this time.
They have something tangible for us to take home on.
We had, listen, can I speak to that?
No, you cannot, Kevin.
We had something tangible. We offered a lot in that last session. We can't help that people are ultra sensitive and they need to heal a little bit. That ain't on us.
Not on us.
They should do that self-reflective work, tap into that soul a little bit, and do that work before they come to this platform. Because if we speaking the truth, if it hurts you, it hurts.
You got it.
All right, Kevin. All right.
Love you.
All right, love play. I'll be there in a second.
We're gonna talk about this backstage. So let's get into it tonight. The people want to know what's happening tonight, but I'm gonna let you take the reins because they talked about me.
I'm gonna just. So this is what the lady said that we can do to better love them. For just in case you guys didn't have the list, they said we can love ourselves because some of us are broken. They said that we can listen to understand and empathize, not to listen to respond. Get in tune with who they are.
They can too.
Put the cape down is what they said, that we can put the cape down. We don't always need to be Superman.
But they asked us to be. Oh, go ahead, bro. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Kevin, eat your food because
they be bugging. They be bugging.
You know
go
what?
Ahead, bro. We sorry.
No, we start.
No, I love it.
No, we starting this off right.
All right, listen, I'm with it.
Is T talking?
T must not be home right now because
T talking.
No, what y'all not gonna do is play my brother like that.
I'm talking to Jay.
She said, "Kev, listening to respond." I'm not.
Yeah, that's exactly what he doing, Janelle.
I'm not.
This is the men's time.
I'm intentionally causing confusion, Nell.
Intentionally.
Is her name Nell or Nelly?
It's Janelle.
Janelle. From last
Janelle with the legs out.
I'm not.
Stop being so spiritual. Consider how I feel. Don't reply, respond. Don't just apologize. Change. Study me. Know me. Relinquish paranoia. Transparency. Be transparent. Make her feel like she matters. Never get comfortable. Prioritize spending time with her. Love her according to her love language. Make us like you. Meaning hold on, I got you, bro. Meaning make them like us. You know what I'm saying? Like they love us, but they don't necessarily like us. Be you, be yourself, and stop acting like you don't need us. So how y'all feel about that list that the ladies gave us?
I just want to clarify something real quick. So I heard like know us, like get to know us. So question, and maybe this is something more so that Q can answer. Speak for the ladies. Q, when you mention or when y'all mention know y'all, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happens when we know you in some ways better than you tend to know yourselves, and we use that as a way of supporting you, but you guys aren't comfortable with us being the ones to identify those things? What happens then? That has created a barrier in my experiences. That's why I'm asking.
That was a loaded question.
That was a loaded statement. So I'm just giving you the same baked potato you giving me.
Okay, you know what? Let me tell you the ground.
I see what type of time we on tonight. All right, Kev.
Let me tell you the ground rules that we're gonna have tonight. Okay, guys, we're gonna talk about relationships. We're gonna have a little bit of structure and order. Then you learn how to convey that. Thank you, thank you, Misha. Like they're not going.
Look. What we are not going to do. We did a lot of uplifting in the comment section last week.
He love a good mic now. He love a good.
Y'all claim I sing, right? That's what y'all claim, right?
Oh my God.
Go ahead, BJ.
But nah, we did a lot of uplifting in the comment section. Y'all being very combative.
Y'all came out the back combative. Okay, all Mel was doing, he read off what was the takeaway.
I just asked the question for clarity. I wasn't trying to start issues.
So
I think that's a great question though, because I think sometimes that's the case. Whereas with some brothers, I can't speak for all men, but a lot of us, like if you're like me, you pay attention to the patterns and to the cycles. Yeah. And so if you're with a young lady or a woman that doesn't see the cycle, it's like you don't realize that what you're doing is kind of destructive to yourself. You get what I'm saying? So I'm with you.
Or that there's seemingly one thing you ask of us and we give that one thing, and by the time we have successfully completed that one thing or delivered that one thing, there's another thing that you have tossed in there. So it's like we're always trying to, I guess, support you in a way that gives you what you're asking of us, but then there's always another thing attached to it. There's never just that.
So I'm sorry. I was going to say, Javon said, dope question. I think it's communicating that by giving examples that effectively support your why behind the action.
Okay.
So look, your team is annoying.
Okay.
I feel so bad for my listeners because it's just so much that they're listening to. So what I feel is that the questions that was written or the statements that the women gave last week or whatever week that was 2 weeks ago, this can go either way. This can go for men and women. That's the reality, right? Like we all can learn to listen and to learn our partners more and to learn the signs that are spoken and unspoken without always having to say it. So I think that was what they were trying to convey last week. Like learn us as we learn you, right? So I shouldn't have to always tell you I'm having a bad day. You should know. You should be able to pick up on the way in which I'm moving, the way in which I'm acting to know, you know what, she's having a bad day. You know what, he's having a bad day. And because this my spouse or because my significant other is having a bad day, let me do this so I can release this person from the burden or the stress of that bad day. And I think that it goes for both. That's what I feel. Chris, you're not saying much. Chris, I want to hear from you because I feel like you got wisdom on tonight. I feel like T wants to start trouble. I feel like
why you always gotta be the one?
Y'all gonna start trouble. I feel y'all troublers tonight.
We came with that
trouble. The war.
See how we can never get this space to be authentically us without these preconceived notions guarded around who we are when we show up in spaces. This is why black men have issues with submitting completely.
Notice how my truth is seen as trouble.
Y'all diminish us before we are able to show up authentically in a space.
Kevin, I'm just first off, I'm just joking, Kevin. Kevin,
I know.
He's speaking out of anger. I'm hangry. See, y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. Just go, y'all. We losing the people. They don't want to hear us ranting.
So
maybe they don't want to hear you.
You know what? Kevin can't come back, man. I won't allow this type of disrespect with my own bringing.
I love you.
I love you too. Okay, babe, go. I'm done.
So who let's get into it. Let's start. How can the women better love us? This is part deuce. I thought
we were supposed to talk about relationships, babe.
Yeah, what you this is a relationship, right?
Yeah. Pay attention. Okay, go.
There we go.
Okay, come on, brother.
We're gonna start there. They don't get enough attention.
You need to be right
there.
I'm not, because I feel like this.
You feel like what?
I feel like I'm gonna just write the answers down. Pass me a pen.
I wrote them down.
Because I think that we still talk about relationships, not how women can better love them.
This was part 2. What do you think part 2 was about?
Not that.
Okay.
2, can I support you in thinking that maybe for him it sounds like that, and for you it sounds like the way you articulate it? Individualism is also a thing in relationships, sweetie pie.
You know what? You better hang up on Kevin.
we just look. Kev is Jadakiss tonight. We just gonna let him go crazy. I'm gonna just stand here and hype him up.
I see. Great question, Kev. Really, T. Great. Really, T. Really.
All right, so let's
get into it.
Let's get into it. So, fellas, I know y'all saw that the Instagram post that went viral. 25 things women can know about their man, or whatever it was. How did y'all feel about that?
Maybe they saw it.
Most of them saw it because I sent it to them.
I don't remember the post. Do you still have them on your phone, bro?
Hold on, I got you. I sent it to you on IG. But anybody have at it, man? Listen. How can they better love us? What can they know? What can they do better? What can they learn about us? They taught us last week. What are we teaching them? and not in a tit for tat way, but I need you to know this because this will better help me in this relationship.
I have a scenario after y'all figure out what y'all want to say.
Oh man.
I think the biggest thing is like that whole notion of understanding. Like
he did.
Say that again?
No, I'm reading a comment. They said, "Oh, Kevin woke up and chose violence today." He did. He woke up and chose violence today. That was his choice.
But I think that whole notion of understanding at the end of the day, like I look at it like that's a two-way street. You know what I'm saying? Like I get the whole aspect of, women telling us like, hey, when they talk, we need to be able to be more understanding or put ourselves in their shoes to understand their point of view and everything like that. But also like that truth remains the same for men too. Cause like my thing is like, say for instance, the way you go about your business or you handle certain situations, I might not come up with the same methods that you would sit there and you would act on. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like the variable or that answer itself, like I'm trying to get to that same goal too. Everybody do things different ways. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like understanding is one of those things that's kind of like hit or miss.
Yeah.
I agree.
I can agree with that.
I agree. I think for men and women, we always translate things a whole lot differently. And it's, men are from Mars, women from Venus, that whole thing, whatever the case may be. But there's always a language barrier, you know what I mean? Which just with being two different genders has, it looks a whole lot different. Not even going into where you come from, how you were raised, father in your life, how that look, because that's the first man that you got, same vice versa, mother in your life, how that looks and how you treat women or how your father treated women, or all those different things kind of filter into our perspective of how we listen. So when you tell me something, that it filters through all of those different experiences, and then now when I'm kind of giving you my answer according to how I perceive it, then it's not what you want to hear. And as opposed to, like we were saying, going back to like G was saying, and all of you were talking about, is that understanding that the answer to your question is not going to sound like what you want to hear it. Right. I think like sometimes what happens is that women already have an expected answer that they want from us. And then when we don't answer it the way that they want us to answer it, then there's a problem. As opposed to saying, hey, listen, this is what I'm trying to say, or this is what, I'm looking for. You want us to guess it, and we do guess it, but we guess it in our way, and it's not what you want to hear.
Right. That's so true though, Chris. That because it's a couple times where I be like X, Y, and Z to Ron, and Ron is like ABC, and I'm like, no, TGIF. Like, why are you saying that? I want you to say this. And he's like, I'm not going to answer the way you want to answer. And I'm like, but this is what sounds right to me in this moment. So I definitely think that that's something that women definitely do. I know that I don't know if it's guilty of it, but I know that I've been in that situation where I've expressed something and I expected his response to be one thing and his response was something totally different. Not necessarily negating that the response was a response, and it could have been a good response, but it wasn't the response that I wanted to hear. So for me, I internalized it as it was the wrong response, right. Which it was a negative response. When it could have very well just been the way he interpreted what we were talking about. Talkman, this is good. Grab popcorn, Joe. Grab popcorn.
Or maybe Q, you just wanted to argue with my brother.
Because women do that too.
I won't doubt that.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
no, I didn't want to argue.
Be petty.
But I wonder, and I have a question.
Can I say something? Wait, hold on, Kevin. Can I say something? Let me use an example, because what y'all not gonna do tonight is this, okay? If I say you hurt my feelings, right, about something, and he says, "Oh, okay," or "Oh, well," my thing was, I would expect for you to say, "Wow, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I apologize to hurt you. Like, I didn't realize I hurt your feelings." That's how I would have expected him to respond. However, his response may be like I just said, "Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, that's not my concern. That's not my business."
I think for men, how often are we hurting your feeling though? You know what I'm saying? Because I think women, every women are sometimes so sensitive.
Give me the
everything we say hurts your feelings, right? So it's like how often I think, and I hear that, and I know my brother, and I'm like, dang, this is probably the 5th time I heard her feelings today. Like, dang, why she so sensitive? Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, Q, I hurt your feelings. This ain't nothing new today. Like, I hurt your feelings 4 more times today. Like, how often are your feelings hurt? And then that's a personal question. Like, why am I so sensitive that everything he does or says hurt my feelings? It could be you just want a good session. Y'all need to go in the room and close the door. Good session, and now you ain't got no feelings. He done knocked them out of there.
Or it could be that you hurt that person's feelings.
Yeah, it could be that. No, I'm not saying that isn't true. It could actually be that he said or did something to hurt your feelings. But I'm just asking, how often does that happen? So that like maybe that's the reason why responses can be what you get. Because like how many times I gotta fight this battle of hurting somebody's feelings?
But you know what, bro? I'm gonna be honest and I'm gonna keep it all the way real. My wife, she right here. Sometimes, and this may come across wrong, so please, ladies, I love you. But sometimes feelings needs to be hurt.
Yo,
I agree.
You get what I'm saying? And not in a, I hate you or in a malicious or evil way.
I'm canceling the Truth Moment podcast. This is canceled.
Sometimes I gotta say
there we go. We ain't saying what she wanna hear. So here we
you know what I'm saying? It will provoke the right change. You get what I'm saying? Like boom. Here's one of the things that ladies take this note. Please take this note. Because we're gonna get into the practicality tonight. I think some of you love the concept of be his peace rather than the application of becoming and being my peace. I think you like that phrase, be his peace, and I'm gonna be his peace rather than the actual process, or rather than actually being his peace. You know what I'm saying? Like you're supposed to be, I'm not gonna go Bible tonight, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's something that we need to don't just say it, but do it.
What it is that a lot of people love love. They love love, but they don't really understand the truth of it. And the truth of it is that love really is more demonstrated in the situations that don't feel so good more than it is in the situation. Happy feelings are easy. It's all of the other stuff where love is really demonstrated, and where that peace is really demonstrated, that comes out of war, like comes out of that conflict. But if you're not ready to have no conflict, then there's gonna be conflict whether you want to or not. So you're better going through it than trying to go around it, because you'll always meet conflict trying to go around conflict as opposed to going through conflict and then finding out the resolution to why you're having an issue.
That is true. That was good, Chris. That was really good. What were you going to say, T? You were saying no.
I was talking stuff. Sorry.
Oh, no. That is true. That is true. I don't think it's a matter of sometimes feelings doesn't need to be hurt, or that women don't know how to be or want to be their peace. I think it's a matter of what Chris was saying on both ends. A lot of times people love, but don't know how to love. People love to be in a relationship or want to be in a relationship, but don't want to make the sacrifice or to look at the person in the mirror on both ends to say, okay,
I think
this isn't conducive for my relationship. Because we have a lot of selfish ways in marriages and relationships where we want to be who we want to be. We want to do what it is that we want to do, but we still want to be in this relationship.
I think though, and since we talk about what the men need, I'm gonna keep letting the clip empty since my brothers are quiet. I think we need you guys to be a little bit more mindful of the unfair and the bias that a lot of times take place in relationships. So a man is required or expected to do certain things regardless of his feelings, regardless of what circumstances is, regardless of what You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be mad with me, but you still better be a man. You could be mad, but you still better do dust and soul. Whereas on the flip side, a woman who is in her feelings or emotional or upset about something can have that moment to shut down or to say shop is closed, or to say I'm not doing dust and soul, and that same level of expectation is not placed on y'all.
I don't think that's for every relationship, though, Ron.
I'm not saying
because, for instance, and I was pops.
I'm about to empty the clip.
Nah, don't encourage your godfather. I for instance, a situation, a scenario, a real scenario. A friend of mine recently found out that her spouse was cheating. Someone I know found out her spouse was cheating. And they have children together. More recent, they recently had a younger child, a child together, and he was cheating. And the reason why he said that he was cheating was because the new woman was doing everything that she wasn't doing for him. She was taking care of him and blah 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 blah. So her response was, you're saying that I'm not taking care of stuff. However, I'm taking care of the kids. I'm taking care of this house. I just had a baby. I'm trying to take care of you, but you out thotting and plotting, right? So the man is saying, oh, okay, well, you're not being my peace. You're not being my this. You're not being my that. So I go, but she still has to do all of these many things. Because you said that when a woman is fed up, she gets to step away and just not do things. She's still doing what she has to do as a woman.
No. You taking it out of the relationship. I'm talking about within the regards of the confines of the relationship. So if I get it, if me and you have an argument, I'm mad, I go get myself food. What am I? I'm selfish. I'm a BA.
But what if you go get your own self food, Q?
I'm all these other things, you know what I'm saying? However, I'm not allowed to allow my emotions to confine or to restrict my actions. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, there's still an expectation that I'm going to be a man and I'm going to do what a flip side, a woman sometimes has wiggle room where it's like, I'm not doing this. I just how I feel. I'm not cooking. I'm not cleaning. I'm definitely not having sex. You know what I'm saying? So one of the things that we need, and I'm talking for my brothers, and we have this conversation, is for equality to some degree of fairness.
Q, are you rolling your eyes because he's saying the truth?
No, I'm not. I don't feel like it's a matter of equality. I don't think that it's a matter of equality. I think it's a matter of us both putting in the same effort. Because the reality is, you may give more in this season, I may give less in the season. I may give more in this season, you may give less in the season. It just depends. So I feel like for you to say that, I don't think that that's standard for everyone, because there are a lot of women that are bending themselves over backwards, that are doing this, that is cooking, that is busting the wall, that's and the man still ain't doing what he needs to do when he get in his moment. When he's still out thotting and plotting. Or he's still up and doing what he needs to do in the household.
There's always going to be outliers in every type of situation that you try to draw up. Just kind of like we talked backstage before, like it's duality and everything. Like, so where you can point, say, like women, we want our men to learn us and know us. Women should learn and know their man, right? It's two sides to every coin. So we can always go back and forth. But I can understand your point of what you're saying about effort. The effort is going to fluctuate. Sometimes it's 50-50, sometimes it's not. And that's where communication is going to have to come into play. Knowing your partner, knowing how to discuss things, knowing how to really approach problems the right way. But that takes work. So
yeah,
because I'm here and I'm thinking, what is the communication between the husband and wife when it comes to individual perspectives of the relationship? Because she could be the mother, she could be, taking care of the kids, giving him babies, all the things that he should be, extremely grateful and appreciative of, but there's still some level of ownership she has to fulfill his personal needs in a relationship. And the same for her. Like, he has an obligation to her to make sure that she, as a person, aside from the mother, aside from all these other things that have become attributes of who she is as a woman, to take care of her and his responsibility to that relationship. And I think oftentimes those things get clouded. Everything is tossed on you at once, and you forget, yeah, he's my husband. Yeah, he's a father, but this is also the guy that I'm in a relationship with. He has needs that I need to meet so that he doesn't have to feel the need to find those things elsewhere. And if his explanation was be my peace, well, I understand. And it's definitely viable that she's doing all of this at home stuff, but consider what he may be experiencing and not saying. And sometimes it's okay to be the voice he doesn't have. Like a prime example, one of my friends today is very sick, and today was a scorcher outside, and he was supposed to come to a meeting we were having about a conference, but had been outside and got sick. And instead of his wife being like, yo, I have to take care of your well-being if you aren't well. This is what you cannot do. She let him do the thing that she knew would make him incapable of operating and performing. And now there's a disconnect. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of her saying to him, this is what I need you to do to take care of you. Right? And giving him that understanding that I see it deeper than the things we aren't saying. I see it deeper than what this moment is representing, right? Trust me enough to make the judgment for you so that, you know what I'm saying? All that enlarges the conversation that isn't happening, Q. And I think that when you go back to the whole cheating thing, somebody checked out long before he went to sleep with her, this other chick, right? Where's that conversation?
Because what I've noticed in like, I don't mean to cut you off, but what I've noticed is that sometimes when people recall stories to their homegirls or to their homeboys, sometimes it's a one-sided story. Sometimes it's not always, well, it's what he did or what she did. It's not what I did sometimes. She, like he said, she could have checked out herself and just not shared that with you. She could not been.
No. I was gonna say for sure. I think before the actual act happens, and I don't want to go in this vein, but before the actual act happens, there's already things that has led up to the act for that
for sure.
infidelity to happen, right?
For sure.
So I definitely understand that. But what I'm saying, I think it also, and I don't know if it was Naomi or someone said, it's different levels of what we see as roles, because in her perspective, she could have felt like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do.
Right.
To him, like you said, it's like, yeah, you're checking off all of these boxes, but you're not checking off these boxes that I need. And I think it goes back to I think it was Bijan and you, Kevin, was saying in reference to communicating what you need from the other person. So you tell somebody, or you say, I want a woman to be my peace. Let's go back to that part. What does that mean to you? Because what that means to me may be something different to what it means to you, and what is your peace.
So how would a woman explain being her man's peace? Because I don't see her effectively doing that without having a conversation with him about what it means to be his peace. But some women, just like you said, the ideas around them may differ because, and I think that's largely in part to the fact that there's no conversation around, hey, babe, you say a lot, you talk a lot about your peace. What would it mean for me to be that peace for you? And hear what he says and then do that and be those things, right? And the reverse, hear what she says and do and be those things, versus having your own perception of, okay, my peace, me being his peace is making sure he ain't got to cook dinner for the kids tonight. That's not necessarily what it's not that he don't want to do it. You just always do. So he assumes that that's what you want to do, right? But you have to definitely hear what we go back to the probing question. What can we do to how can y'all love us better? Like somebody put in the comments, like, listen to understand, or you said that when the lady said that last week. We need that though. We need that.
You know what?
Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that it's not just communication. It's truthful communication.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people don't really put their full self out, what they're, you know what I mean? Like, you got to be able to have the hard conversations. You say, I really don't like this. or this really hurts my feelings, and you do it all the time. Because if you keep on I'm communicating the thing that isn't going to step on any toes or is not going to ruffle any feathers, you're really not going to get to you're not going to get to the truthful solution, or the solutions that's really going to make things kind of move forward in the place that it needs to be. So
that is true.
Can I want to say something to that, because I hear you, but communication to me ain't all that. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm married going on 6 years. Communication is excellent, but for me, I believe comprehension is the key. I believe comprehension is the key. Because if I'm communicating to you and you're not understanding what it is that I'm saying, I think that's an issue. So if I say to you, listen, I don't need the I love yous and I don't need cards. I just need, when the night comes, drop them drawers. Let's put on some Luther, and that's what I need.
Are you telling our business right now?
Hey, we wouldn't have known if you didn't say that.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you what I want.
Playlist.
So understand. Listen. You can't go wrong with Luther, Brian McKnight, alcohol. I got some new stuff in there that I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna send you my playlist after the show is over.
You focus?
But what I'm saying now, communication is important, but I think it's comprehension. So if I say to you, you know what, when I'm frustrated, I need a minute to myself to get myself together, and you keep trying to come in, be like Superwoman and take it off of my shoulders, that's an issue. You're not getting
No.
Bro.
What's your definition of you needing a minute? How long is your minute?
It's not. You know what? It's not your definition. That's for sure.
Right. Because that's why I'm laughing.
I just need to know. I need to know the guy's opinion. Like, what's their definition?
Now, on the side, bro. A minute could be a day. A minute could be an hour. A minute could be a week. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it lasts that long, but see, sometimes it differs per situation. Like, we've had some real serious situations where I was there functioning in my role, but I was disconnected and distant, and I needed time to either forgive myself and try to talk to myself and figure out how I got to where I am, or give myself enough time to calm down so that I can forgive her for whatever the offense was. You get what I'm saying? But y'all kind of quiet. So KG, what's some of the things, some of the boxes
it has everything to do? I'm sorry, it has everything to do with maturity. Of lack of sex forces you out the relationship. It's not a genuine relationship. All right, girlfriend. I ain't want to say it, but I'm glad you said it. Okay, you can go to
Let's not go into that.
You can go to KG. Why?
Go ahead, KG.
Let's flip it around. Let's flip it around then.
What was the question?
Well, why we here in that second?
Somebody have to be watching this.
Somebody watching or something else. Okay. Greg, he wants you to talk.
Yeah, I get that. But the question was what? Because everybody's saying, like, pretty much, like, in a nutshell, everybody's giving, like, answers that go hand in hand. Like, comprehension, understanding, communication. Like, those are all key. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like another one is, that kind of tie into the comprehension portion of things. But, like, for me, personally,
what we're going for you personally.
I'm gonna say, like, it's like that belief factor. Like, at the end of it, which ties into touch. You know what I'm saying? So, like, social media, all this crazy stuff, like, it's wild lit. So if something look a certain type of way on the internet, don't necessarily mean, like, at the end of the day, that's what's going on behind closed doors. But I feel like most people, like, well, I'm not gonna say most people, most women, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like, instead of you coming to me and you talking to me about a situation, or you talking to me about something because you see something on the internet, you're quick to sit there and go with that thought and believe that first, and then that's the end all be all. So anything that I do on my end, even if I'm giving you the truth, you already got it in your mind. Like, at the end of the day, I got this thought, I got this feeling, and there's nothing that's going to shake off that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's talk about social media. I'm glad you went there, Greg. Let's segue into that. That's a good segue. I think
this ain't a moment for you to have a personal vendetta against social media in your relationship. We ain't here for that.
I have no. Let me.
Okay.
I have no problem with social media. Me and my husband don't have those issues. That's not a problem. But I want to segue there because I do believe that social media does cause a lot of drama in relationships.
They do. I feel like if somebody jump in your DM, you know what it's for.
Y'all saying it don't cause drama in relationships?
Hell no. I said I do. I believe
I haven't had that issue.
I don't think it does.
Greg is saying he does.
I don't think it does.
Bijan is saying no, but Bijan, okay. Bijan is.
My thing is like if somebody jump in a relationship right now. If somebody jump in your
DM, in a relationship, it didn't cause any issues.
Okay.
Go ahead, KG.
Tomato on that one, BJ. But if like 9 times out of 10, if a random dude jump in somebody DM, you know what the intentions are. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, huh?
No, I'm agreeing with you, bro. You're right.
Yeah. So like, you know what the intent is behind that. So my thing is like, unless you got my direct line or something like that, like me personally, I don't tend to do the whole social media thing, like DMs, stuff like that. I don't open it up because I know what I'm expecting. If I sit there, I'll leave everything in bold. So I'll look at it at the same time that you look at it. We're going to look at it together. And I'm like, oh, I ain't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I do believe like, I'm not saying it's the end all be all to it, but social media does play like a huge part in relationships nowadays.
But that I feel like that
people allow it. People allow that.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Like I wouldn't like. I don't know, man. People post too much of their personal stuff. Like everything ain't for everything for me.
But my statement to social media and relationships wasn't even as far as DMs. It was a matter of your comparison factor. Like, let's be honest, people compare. So if your wife or your girlfriend or vice versa, you see this girl doing all of this for her man, or the girl see all of this being done for her, and it's like, oh well, why my husband don't do this, or why my boyfriend do this, or why my girl ain't
like talking from that perspective.
But what does that have to do with the man though? That's not our fault, but we're left to pay for that.
Like insecurities in your own.
But I think that, so question, you don't think that happens on both ends?
No, I have it does.
I would never look at a social media
post. I'm worried about those people, man.
And I don't care what another man or another girl does for her husband or her man. Like, as long as mine do right by me in the confinements of what it is that I feel like I need to feel safe in a relationship, I don't care about that other stuff. You can keep the materialistic things. Let's sit down and have a heart to heart. That's what leads me close. That's a turn on for me. Keep your money in your wallet, boo-boo. Talk about my feelings a little bit. I don't care, but the social media stuff, I feel like it's more so, and I could be wrong because I don't have this experience, but I feel like it's more so the women who look at what other men on social media have done for their women and then go back to their husbands or their boyfriends and be like, babe, I want this. Or I feel like we should do this. And I saw these girls on social media, they did this, and their boyfriend paid for their whole crew to go on a girls trip. Well, I ain't him. So, I mean, you going to unfollow them or we going to be out of a relationship? Because what I'm not going to do is that. So, like, your friends got their own mans. Like, bye. But go ahead.
On social media, I think what the issue is with women, they look at a lot of the actions that happen, and with guys, they get caught up with the images that happen. Right? Men, by it's an innate thing that God put in us to be visual.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because we're supposed to, to be the head, you have to have vision. And a lot of times the enemy will try to put something, in that line of sight to get you distracted. And, and then there may be that comparison. Sometimes what it starts as the like a little seed, starts like a little seed. And the more that you continue to water it, the more that you continue to nurture it, even unconsciously sometimes, you find yourself thinking about certain things. It's like, oh, wow, why am I thinking about, why is this consuming my thought process more than it normally would. You know what I mean? Which sometimes you have to even internally look within yourself, or sometimes within your relationship, to see where there may be a deficiency or a void that you feel or leaves place for that seed to grow. Right. Another thing is the factor that when we look at it, comparison is the thief of joy. You have you got a Toyota, you love your Toyota, you just got your Toyota, you put some rims on it, put some tint, like, oh man, my joint clean. And you get out there and your man's got that new Mozzie. It's like, yo, dang, son, like, I know we got about the same money. Like, he got this Mozzie now, like, and you stop the joy that you had about your Corolla, it just kind of diminished, because now you seen somebody else have something that you like, maybe I could have got that too. You know what I'm saying? And it happens a lot of times with things, people, anybody, any type of cheating. Whenever cheating happens, it means that there's something that's not enough of. If a person cheats in the game, that means you don't have enough talent, right? If a person cheats on a test, that means you don't have enough knowledge in order to do it without, doing it the way that it's supposed to be done. So whenever there's some type of cheating that happens, that means that there's a lack. And a lot of times we end up paying attention to the action, or going into the action, before we really, take consideration of why do I feel this way. And that goes back to that communication of having those hard conversations. Hey, I thought about this today, babe. Like, I don't know why I thought about it, and you not get your feelings hurt. And now it's a whole argument because I just told you I looked at this picture today and I kind of felt a little something. I don't know. Maybe we need to talk about it. Now, of course, you ain't going to throw that out all the time, but if it's something that starts to be significant, you got to really start having those truthful conversations of why you feel like you feel, or how you feel like you feel. I don't know.
So ladies, this is what should be on your list so far. Listen to us more. Actually be our peace and find out what that means.
How about find out what our peace means? Because we can't actually be something if we don't even know what it is.
Whatever order you want to put it in, just do it.
What he meant.
Like Nike, just do it.
He just said that.
Agree that the comparison to your girls, to social media, we need you to cut that out. That's crucial. We need
comparison kills.
Comparison kills.
Comparison kills. Great song.
Yes, it is. That's the first thing crossed my mind, bro. I think another thing is allow our truths to be our truths, period. No attachments to it. Like
no expectations of what our truth is.
Don't expect right. Don't expect us to go deeper because you need more context behind what we speak. Let what we say be enough. And you do what you can with that, right? And in time, we may be able to give you more. But if our truth,
you don't understand, Kevin.
If you then ask for clarity, don't ask for us
dictatorship, Kevin.
Huh?
Sound like a dictatorship.
How is that a dictatorship? That's me saying, "Hey, I don't have the mental capacity to entertain a conversation about anything deep today." That's my truth, right? Listen to me. That's my truth. And if I'm giving that to the woman that I'm with, I need her to either say okay to that, or for clarity to say something along the lines of, what do I need to do to support you? Instead of saying, well, what you mean you don't have, instead of being combative and trying to get me to give a deeper context to what I just gave you, or to make me believe that what I'm saying is not actually how I feel.
Okay, so like for instance, if the girl asks you, what you thinking about? And you like nothing. And we like, so you just sitting right here.
Exactly. Yeah, don't do that. Let nothing be okay.
There's nothing on your mind.
Yeah. I hate that.
Nothing
happened. I hate that.
But so write that down. Write that down. But also,
what you just thinking about?
What I'm thinking about is, I'm thinking about the fact that we need a safe space. If I'm going to share, if I'm going to be one enough or be vulnerable enough to be transparent enough to really share what demons it is that I'm fighting, or what demons it is I'm battling, like, I need to save this space to be safe. That means, like, when you're having that emotional moment, I need you to think about what is you saying. I need you to be twice as attentive to how I'm saying it. I need you to really listen, not for what it is that I'm saying verbally, but what it is that my heart might be saying or my spirit may be saying, so that you can help me. Because I don't want you to just know what the issue is. I need you to help me.
But how about you guys try it? Because some of y'all don't even try it.
That's
to even say what.
Do you see what just happened? This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Babe,
this is supposed to be a safe. You heard what you want to hear.
Babe, when I'm saying try it, I mean like try.
I'm talking about a man that is.
But what if that's all he's capable of doing in the moment? That needs to be enough for the moment.
Right.
Hey, look, I'm rolling my eyes at you.
It's all right, roll your eyes.
This is why dudes be like, yo, I need a moment. And that moment for T is 17 days and 3 hours. And for some of us is literally a moment. Let me go take a shower, come back out, and then we could talk.
Exactly.
Let me go for a run, come back.
Exactly. Let me hit the court.
So
Let me go play ball.
So we need to create a safe space for you guys.
So, not even so much create a safe space. Let us be in our own. Period. Like
be a safe space. Listen.
But so here's the thing about
look at Q.
Let me go Bible for 1 second. We all know Delilah. Delilah was a wicked woman. She was an evil woman. She was for her own need, for her own. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know who that is.
For herself. But Delilah was so.
I don't know who she is.
You don't know. He telling the story, bro. He telling it now.
So Delilah was a woman.
Listen.
Delilah was a woman who got with a man of God. He was a judge. He was someone that was supposed to deliver the children of Israel from their enemies. She knew that he had great power, great anointing, great ability. She didn't know where it came from. So she kept asking him every day, yo, where'd you get your anointing from? Where you get your power from? All this stuff. And so he's lying to her every day. I see you laughing,
I
Money.
have some great questions, y'all.
Good. So every day he's giving
laughing at Naomi. Laughing at Naomi, yeah.
The Bible says that she lays him down on her lap. So she knew, this evil woman knew how to make this space so conducive to him, knew how to set the atmosphere, make it so peaceful that in that moment he says, listen, if you cut my hair's never been cut, but if you cut my hair, I'll be like a regular man. So how, you know what I'm saying? Like, do the same, make that space safe enough for me to say, this is the secret to my power, or this is the secret to my pain. I've been molested, but I didn't know how I can tell you.
But even with that, see, now the thing is that responsibility on the female. That now, if it is a safe space, or I do open up to you, that now it doesn't become ammunition. It doesn't become a weapon that when you get upset or you feel away now, that now all of a sudden everything that I told you in my vulnerability, now you just all of a sudden, and because you such and such and you your old booty, you know.
No, okay. Go back to the question.
All that stuff.
Go back to the question. I have a couple questions, but go back to what Marilyn said. So we should be okay with spoon feeding information with you guys giving us pieces.
That Marilyn, I love you, my sister, but here's the problem with that question. That question shows that you guys don't understand. You guys don't understand us, and so I'm gonna try to break it down like this. So for women, you guys are the post office, because you know you carry mail, you bring mail, you carry mail, you bring mail. No disrespect to you, not trying to belittle any women. We are more like the FBI, the Secret Service, and the CIA. Like, you got to go through some clearances before you get access.
But it's so much. But I don't think it's fair, because it's so much work to hold. It's two-sided.
I mean, Cab, get him. Get a cab.
Hold on, because what y'all not going to do up here. Okay?
But we're not asking for fair. Q, we're simply asking you to give us the moment for our truth to be what it is, and that's it. We're not saying we're not going to provide the clarity you need. It just may not be in the moment you need it. We're not saying that you won't get what you need in return. We're just saying for the moment, we need to be ourselves. We need to have our truth be what it is for the moment. We're not saying you won't get what you desire as a response. Just give us a moment to have a moment.
Go ahead, T. Hold on. Go ahead,
Q. I'm gonna need you not to let him yell at you like that.
I mean, he
I
and
feel
my
like he was
husband's
talking.
sitting right here.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
just think
I
that
know he would have
that's kind
stepped
of
up and
crazy.
said
That's kind of
something
crazy
before.
for the show.
Speak them
Kind of
facts,
crazy
bro.
for the show. But y'all go ahead.
I don't even know.
AT,
I'm over it. Let me read y'all the questions because I'm done. I don't believe
AT, hold on, Q. Q know I love her.
I know.
AT,
All my life I had
I'm about to use curse words. Like,
no.
who
Focus.
bro?
Focus. So I have some questions that I want to ask y'all. I'm too tired. I don't even have an argument in me tonight.
We know.
Okay. So some questions that the lady sent me was this. How important, I have 4 questions.
Okay.
How important is intimacy to you guys? Anyone can answer.
Oh,
It's very important. That's what I love.
We're talking about
It's not
intimacy
that
or
important.
sex.
Intimacy.
It's very important to me.
Let's
Wait.
be specific.
Wait, guys.
Are we talking? Come on, Alan.
Are we
Are we
talking
talking
about?
about intimacy or sex? Which one are we?
The question is, how important is intimacy? I didn't say sex, nasty.
I know. I'm
That's
asking.
why he asked.
So you know what? It's going to be a twofold. How important is intimacy and or sex? Can I say or?
Okay.
You can
2,000%.
Okay. Or I have a better question. Well, I know this question. I don't want to ask this question. Is intimacy as important to you guys as sex is? Let me do it that way.
Yeah.
That's
as important.
Wait, can you ask that? Can you ask that question again?
okay. So you know, women are big on intimacy, right? Like we like.
Alan said,
So is intimacy for you guys as important, or is sex more important?
Intimacy is more important to me. Intimacy is more important.
God bless you, Ken.
I mean, like,
I'm not. Hey, look, if intimacy is done correctly, then sex is going to be automatic. But
That's true.
I think intimacy is more important.
Yeah.
Play with my mind a little bit before you dig in my pants.
yo.
That's what a woman said. That's how a woman
pinky
feels.
boys.
So what? I didn't ask the question.
You know what?
Like I said, it's a twofold. The question was, is intimacy, the specific question was, how important is intimacy to you guys? However, you guys then asked me, is intimacy the same as sex? And in reality, intimacy is not the same as sex, because sex can just be sex and there'd be no intimacy. Intimacy can be no sex, or intimacy, like Kevin said, can lead to sex, right? So I guess for what the question for the women, they're saying, so how important is that factor for you? So put it this way: could you be in a relationship and it'd be a healthy, not a healthy, it'd be a good relationship to you if you guys weren't intimate but you only had sex?
Oh no.
Nah.
Okay, so
there's different levels. You got passionate sex,
right?
And then you got Wesley pipe sex.
Hey.
Next question.
I'm done. I'm done.
I don't know who it is. Who is that?
The Saints is going to cancel us, dog.
Who is that? I don't know who that is.
I'm done.
My man, oh my God.
That's the worst of the worst. No, I'm done.
I probably am the only person that really don't know what he's talking about.
So
hold
on. I want to respond to Naomi's question. So Naomi, here's my definition of true love. And true love is trusting somebody with the keys to my innermost pain, hoping that you'll never use those keys to unlock what's behind that box or behind that door. So a lot of us are not comfortable or not secure because we don't know honestly how you handle or what you do with, you know what I'm saying, the unlocking that box or the keys, the possession of the keys.
But it's the same thing for men, for women too, because women open up, be vulnerable, love them, and then men will use all of what they were vulnerable with against them. So that's the twofold.
Can you give examples?
Yeah.
That happens more with women than it does.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm going to my next question.
No, forget the next question. You open your mouth. Now use it for your glory, sister.
Come on, Quinn.
So
She trying to be petty. That's
I'm not trying to be petty. What I'm saying is I think that can be a twofold. Yes, I do agree.
Of course it can.
The statement of what you said, Ron, the statement what you said in reference to the key and wanting to make sure that I give you this and you not use it against me. Yes, women do use it. Women do abuse it more. But I do believe that there are situations where women are open and vulnerable.
I think it's two different things, honestly. I think women's approach, from my experience, and I could be wrong, I think women make the men aware of their past experiences and their hurt, hoping that man won't again repeat that trauma or repeat that pain.
Yes.
I think that's something different from a man holding the keys to his pain and then saying, hey, listen, this is what it is.
Okay,
and
you're right.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I think it's two totally different things.
You're right, babe. Next question. Can y'all stop listening to us at the same time? Because we hit echo. Okay. What do you need your woman to bring to the table?
Oh, man. Who want to hit that first?
Her most authentic self. If you come authentically you, then you have given me what I need to gauge how I am to respond to that.
Who is that? Her most.
I don't know.
Somebody.
It's not me.
It's, say that again, Kev, for the people in the back.
I said, bring your most authentic self to the table, because when you do that, you tell me what you can contribute, what you don't have, what you struggle with, what I can do better, what I can do to make things easier for you. When you bring your most authentic self, that comes with a conversation of understanding. And when I have that at the forefront, then I know what to do with it. It gives me the permission to assess my situation and respond accordingly.
Okay, good. Does anyone else want to answer that? What can a woman what can a woman bring to the table?
I'm gonna just add an additional word to what he said. What he said was essentially perfect, but I would appreciate somebody bringing their whole self to the table.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Like don't come to the table broken. Like as a man, you don't come to the table broken. As a woman, don't come to the table broken.
I have to agree to disagree with that.
Because
sometimes the only reason why I say that is because sometimes our perception
to preach your hands too.
I'm sorry. Right? Our perception of what we think is broken or what we think is whole sometimes isn't really as whole as we think it is until we put it into operation. Like, I've been in law enforcement for a decent amount of time, and the way that we train when we're in the academy and the way that we're training when we're in the academy and stuff like that, it's not going to look the same way when you actually in a real fight. So a lot of times what happens is that, like, all right, I come to this relationship, I think I'm all right, I think I'm good, I feel good, you know what I mean? And then when you actually get in that moment, you find out that you're not as okay as you thought you were. You know what I mean? Now, the thing is that going back to that authentic self is now both parties choosing or making the decision to say, you know what, I want to take this and then we can grow and we can heal together. Or, you know what, that's too much for me. I'm going to go ahead and gracefully bow out. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I get it with the whole aspect of coming with your, being whole or not being broken. But a lot of times, people really don't know how broken or how whole they really are until it's actually put into practice or it's actually put into action. And then you find out, what it really is.
So can I ask, with that, though, is it fair to then say, what kind of alluding to what BJ said, bring your whole self, or at least have begun the work.
There we go.
In trying to find your whole self.
Right.
So that I'm not responsible for that. I can support it, but it's not my obligation.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. I agree with that.
Another what I need or what I needed prior to my wife, after my last relationship prior to my wife, I needed someone to meet the criteria that they were looking for. You want me to be hungry, you want me to hustle, you want me to have ambition, be driven, you know what I'm saying? But then, if we're comparing the list of what it is that I have and what it is you have, you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't even out. And so I think one of the issues that we fall into, or relationships fall into, is that we say, I want somebody that has this, and this, and they got to do this, and they got to be this. And then at the same time, we're not becoming what it is that we're looking for. or we're not even working towards becoming some of what it is we're looking for. You get what I'm saying? If that makes sense to you.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want him to have a business, and I want him to have 4 degrees, and I want him to, you know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, you know, like,
you live in your mother's house. Not
just you live in your mother's house, but when we go to Applebee's for a little lunch date, I gotta read the menu to you because you can't, you know, like, that's the issue.
Oh, not
you know what I'm saying?
Not the Fantasia.
Wow, oh low. Maybe she struggled with reading,
which is cool. But then don't say, "Well, my man got to have a PhD and a doctorate,"
and you can't read the McDonald's.
That's the issue.
Things are happening there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the issue.
I got some more questions because I want to. Okay, go.
Now, so what about areas not having to do with emotions and personality? What else do women need? What else do you need women to bring to the table for a relationship to be successful? Another thing for me, great conversation. I need you, like Kevin, you have to be able to hold the conversation.
Yes.
I'm gonna see what you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna see, you know, if you can back it up. I'm gonna see if you can do all the other stuff. But then I need to see that you can have a conversation that excites me and makes me want to come back and continue to talk to you again.
I would also say a certain level of independence. Now, there's certain things that I'm willing to do for you, for us, with you, for us. But I also want you to be able to hold your own and stand on your own if you had to, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of people get it. There's a lot of conversation around what a man should do to relieve a woman from obligations in relationship. But sometimes we need you to be able to stand on your own 2 feet, too, aside from what we are willing to contribute in that relationship. So I would say a certain level of independence, not so much that you forget that I'm there to help you and that we're in this thing together, but enough to understand that, hey, babe just paid for the trip to Aruba. I'm paying for the trip to London. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. I don't want her to feel as if she's walking into a relationship to be relieved of her obligations, right? Because you were paying your cell phone before we got together. You might as well keep on paying it, right? I'm joking, but I'm saying, like, if that's the case, like if we have a conversation about finances in our relationship, right? Yeah. And that conversation differs from a boyfriend-girlfriend versus a husband and wife. But if that conversation around finances are happening, like if I'm expected to pay the mortgage and all the things to keep the house afloat, then you take the phone bill. Like,
I'm rising, you got this.
Listen, bad. You was paying your cell phone bill before we got married. You just still pay that bill.
The devil is
a liar. You see, I'm paying that bill. But no, that makes sense.
I pay the light bill, the gas
bill. It's a joke.
Are you telling my brother's business on air?
No, it's a joke.
Don't do it.
We made a joke.
Make her sleep on the couch, bro.
It's too testy tonight. Kevin said you was already paying your cell phone bill before we got together. You should probably keep on paying it.
Q, I was joking.
It was a joke.
Oh, no, you still need to pay that cell phone.
You just told my brother business on air.
We're just joking.
I'm used to it.
So can I ask a question, Q?
No.
Are we obligated? Are we obligated? No. I want to know. Are we obligated because we treat you to hair and nails every so often? Is that now our bill too?
Nobody.
Come on, somebody.
Bundles.
I felt that.
Is that now our bill too?
No, it's. I don't think
that you pay for my haircut sometime too.
Sure. You know he don't got no hair.
I like manicures and pedicures. On you too.
Hit me with $500.
Listen, right?
Who's with $500?
That's what I'm saying. Hit me with $500. Like, baby, go ahead, go take
get your haircut.
Go, you know what I mean?
I agree.
Get you some new J's.
I agree, guys. I agree. Can I go to the next question?
Are you writing that down?
No, babe, I'm not. I'm going to the next question.
Marilyn said it's a maintenance fee. But he's a maintenance man because I ain't him.
Listen.
I'm your boyfriend. I'm your husband.
I just want y'all to know y'all hurting my feelings tonight. I just want y'all to know my feelings hurt.
Right.
Would you do that often to us? So welcome to our world.
You see,
I'm about to say, do you remember what you called in the group chat last week?
Bijan, be quiet. That was a family conversation that don't need to be up. Anyway, let me ask the next question. I'm asking this question to Greg because he's been kind of quiet. What habits do women have that frustrate men?
Shaba.
Get him, Greg.
Kevin cannot respond.
What was the
Get
question?
him, bro.
I want Greg and I want
I'm not responding.
Greg, I'm about to text you my answer since you
I
said
don't
I can't talk.
Everybody can talk. What's the question? I didn't hear the question.
Say I'm leaving. What
All
habits?
single people respond.
What happened? Right? What happened? What habits do women have that frustrate men?
Being a hypocrite. What else? It's so many, man. Like being a hypocrite is one. I would say, acting like they know it all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to relationships, parenting, whatever. Like at the end of the day, we don't all have the answers, but I find it we're like females, especially, like y'all come off like y'all know it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that. Another thing is like not being willing to step out of your own comfort zone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, like I feel like that's big, but it's hard to get anybody to do that. So that's one of them things that go both ways. But what else?
I can't say so.
Go ahead, Kev. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Very
quarantine said I can't answer.
Hey, I feel very disrespected on my own.
And always trying to play.
What you say? What you say, Greg?
What's the saying I'm looking for? That victim, like playing that victim role. That get old too.
Always trying to play the victim role.
Be my fault. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, I hear you, brother. Always trying to play.
For me, that's about it. For real.
Okay. What you gotta say, T and Kevin and Bijan and Chris?
No, I'm not answering. Y'all got me on punishment last time. We're not doing this.
I feel like Greg answered well for everyone. So.
I want to add one. We're your boyfriend or your husband, not your son. Please remember that. You know what I'm saying? Like we're equals, not.
Are you talking about subliminally?
No,
like,
not at all.
Are you shooting at me now?
Not at all.
See, here you go taking stuff personal.
You see?
I say a joke, it's personal. He say something, it ain't personal. Okay, you know what?
I didn't say it was personal. I didn't
What
take it personal.
if next question? What if anything, did you learn from the ladies last week that you would like to apply to your current relationship or next? So basically, anything last week that we spoke about, do you feel like you guys would apply anything that we said to your current relationship or your future relationship? Did you gain anything from it? I don't know if y'all remember the whole.
Marilyn just made a point in the group chat.
I see it.
I said in the group chat in the comments.
I see it.
Mel, tell us what to make you feel. Mel, tell us what we do that makes you feel that way. I'm not sure what now. What are you referring to?
I think she's talking about when you said like talking to us like, you know, we your equal, not your son.
Oh yeah, that one. We don't want to be your mother, so stop acting like our sons. Oh, Marilyn.
So here's one of the things that I can say since we want to have this conversation. Here's one of the things that I can say. Here's one of the things that I can say for women and men who are parenting. Because you are a mother doesn't automatically make you the better parent. I can be a father and be the better parent, even though you push the child out.
But what does that have to do with this?
Well, this is part of the relationship.
Hey, listen.
This is part of the relationship. But then at the same time, when in the relationship outside of the children, when issues come or when issues arise, and you've had an experience with such and such, doesn't mean the way you responded to that experience is the only answer. And because we're not responding in the way you feel, you get frustrated because you've been down this road, you know how to solve that problem or the problem that you had. However, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So you might want to, put on Yes, Jesus Loved Me for whatever, to solve one problem, where I might say, this is what it is, this is what it's going to do, and this might solve this problem also. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not your sons, we're your equals. Don't speak to us like we're your sons because we disagree or we have a different method or a different way of viewing things.
But sometimes women take care of men like they're their sons. So it's like, yeah, I'm sonning you because I feel like you're my son. I'm paying.
I see the point that you're trying to make.
I'm paying for everything.
I see the point
y'all serious right here?
It happens. It happens.
I gotta go. My book is closed. I gotta go. Because y'all can't be serious right here.
It happens.
I heard somebody who want to add to it all, because I'm gonna shut it down. Y'all don't want to.
Go ahead and shut it down, brother.
Yeah.
Because a woman is paying. No. Because a woman is paying for everything.
Watch between.
And this is the ladies. Write this down. Add this to the list. Your man may be in a bad season, maybe in a bad space, maybe in a bad situation, especially when it comes to the finances. Doesn't mean that the level of respect that you have for that man should diminish because financially he's not present or available to do certain things. So even though a woman may be doing more or maybe doing this or maybe taking care of a man, doesn't ultimately make that man a child. Because the reality is, if a man is taking care of a woman, y'all don't get likened or compared to children. You get kept and you get celebrated for being kept, or you celebrate that man for keeping you, but y'all don't get compared to children. So if a mother, I lose my job, right? And for 3 months, I can't find a job. Unemployment is crazy right now. So because you have to hold down the house for 3 months, I'm a child?
No, Ron, you're not a child. But however, there are very much scenarios that I know for fact where the woman takes care of or has taken care of the man in every aspect, not for a season, not for a moment, but for life.
I think what it is that it depends on the mindset of that man. If a season because a real man at some point is like, yo, I got to get out here and I got to make something happen. Now, life isn't always going to allow you to do that, even though you like, all right, listen, I got to get out here and I got to do this. You're going to have certain circumstances that come. Like for me, right? I'm used to like getting a certain amount of money. Right now, I'm on disability because I had to do surgery. So obviously, money isn't the way that it used to be. Now it should be like, oh well, you can't do all this and you can't do that you used to. You just like my son or whatever the case may be. Like, yeah, nah. Number one, your son ain't giving you the. Never mind. So, all right, okay, all right. And I'm not your daddy. Well, I mean, I can be your daddy.
That's where it all comes from. What past experience? Definitely past experience. I just feel like now, I'm not saying that this is not what men need, and we shouldn't adhere to what the men need. I don't want to say that, but what you said, Chris, was real men. We have a lot of not real men, and
I want to a lot of not real women.
We have a lot of not real women.
But and I love everybody. I want y'all to hear my heart, because Black Queens, I know I talk great about you, but if you allow that nigger to sit on that couch and not apply. Now, it's tough out here. I'm not going to say it's not tough. But if he's sitting on that couch and he's not trying and he's not going out and he's not interviewing and he's not doing anything outside of you being milked or you being milked by him, then you deserve that because you let that happen. But if that man is trying, listen, it's the truth.
Wow.
It's the truth. And this goes back to what we said earlier about telling the truth when it hurts. I don't think no woman deserves to bust her hump, go to school, because now most women have degrees more than the men, and then come home to a man that's playing a video game that can't clean a house, can't cook a dish, can't take the garbage out, can't change the light bulb, and then you be like, hey, babe, what you want to eat for dinner once you just came home from dealing with the corporate world for 8 hours a day? You a sucker. And you deserve to be treated like a sucker if that's what you're allowing to happen. Ouch. But a real man, like Chris said, is going to find a way to show his lady, like, yo, I'm with you in the struggle. I'm fighting to get a job, but I'm also gonna fight you to let you know that I'm not just one of these other guys out here that's about to just eat off of you. So yeah, you paying the bills, but you coming home to a spotless house, or you paying the bills, and we're gonna be home at the same time because I'm going on 20 interviews today. It's a big difference.
I agree to that.
Can we talk about friends?
Can we talk about what?
Friends, right? Because a lot of times women being influenced by their friends, gets, in the mix of the relationship, who you influenced by. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
Have that ear open to them, and then you let that influence come in your crib, and now you like, wait, hold on, you wasn't talking like that before. Now you talking, oh yeah, because you don't do this and you don't do that, or whatever the case may be, and now you change your stance because of whatever influence you, which most of the time happens from friends or family.
That is true. Both friends and family. The question on the screen is, can a godly man be in a relationship? And I think we should kind of wrap it up now. Can a godly man be in a relationship with a non-godly woman, or vice versa?
Yes. That was my experience. I think what it takes is that he or she, who's ever the godly one in the experience, it creates a level of what is the word I'm looking for? Oh, let me just speak from my experience, right? My daughter's mom grew up knowing church, knowing God, never had a relationship, right? When we entered into the relationship, and when we decided that this was going to be something we did on a serious tip, she expressed her desires were to be closer to God. And I felt that that was a win for me, because that's what I was chasing after for myself, so I could be in support of that for her. What went wrong was that at some point I felt that it had become less of an experience to share and more of a burden to bear. And in that, we decided to do things that were not contrary to a relationship with God. And for me, that made me fall further away from Christ.
Wow.
I think it could happen. I think it could happen successfully, but there has to be strong barriers around what's happening in that relationship to develop the other person into who you think that they, or who they desire to be. Because it could be that the man or the woman doesn't desire to have a relationship with God just because they're with somebody who's godly.
This is
I
true.
have to respectfully
That's
disagree.
a whole nother conversation.
You say you respectfully disagree. What you got?
I have to respectfully disagree. Right. Only reason why I respectfully disagree is because anything that's headed in any direction, there can only be one direction. So either you're going to start to fall away, or they're going to start to get on. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, it's not going to happen overnight. And if the bounds of that relationship or the strength of that relationship is fortified, that now you can become congruent to beginning to go into the same direction. But how can two walk together except they agree? You know what I mean? So there's got to be some agreement at some point. And if these are major tenets of your life, you get what I'm saying, then at some point there's going to always going to be, some I guess disagreement or something that it won't flow right, because we on two different planes. You know what I mean? And my thing is that beginning off, yeah, maybe, but somebody's going to rub off on somebody. And I would hope that the God that's in me is so strong enough that it makes you want to have a relationship with who I serve and who I believe. Because really, honestly, me being a godly man makes me the person that you want to love.
That is true. That is true. You right. You can't go both ways. It's either we getting on or we getting off. That makes a lot of sense, actually, Chris. That makes a lot of sense. Does anyone else have anything to say about that one? Or the reverse? Do you think an ungodly man can be with a godly woman? Whichever way y'all want to put it.
I'll be trying.
I don't have a stance. I'll be honest.
You don't think it matters either way.
If you want anything to work, it'll work. It's all a matter of effort, really, in my opinion.
I don't know. I gotta disagree.
I'm saying you can disagree, but it's
me personally, I've been in an experience where I dated someone that was ungodly, and it was very, very similar to what Chris said. It was either we was getting on or we was getting off.
But who are we to say that person is godly?
Yeah, ungodly. I want to understand that more.
Who are we to say that?
If you're in I don't want to do this with y'all tonight. It's too late.
You remember you didn't want to have a church conversation. You didn't want to have a church conversation.
I don't have it in me tonight. My son was sick. Truth moment. I don't got it. I just don't have it, man. You just got to do it now. I got to go. I can't do it.
Listen.
I don't know who to say who's godly. Who's to say? I don't know.
I think the thing is, if you want it to work, it's just, I think, and this is just my personal stance with that comment. There's a part where you no longer want relationship to be work and you just want it to be a flow. Now, if we got to continuously work, work, just work. All right, and there's always just this thing. Who's really going to be really happy with that? You get what I'm saying? Like, I understand, anything that you have a foundation of, you have to, create the groundwork and you got to build and you got to learn each other. But after a while, we on the same plane. It's minimal work that has to be done, as opposed to we on two different planes. I'm like, hey, babe, you just coming in at 5 o'clock because you just came from the club and I'm getting ready to go to service. And you're like, oh yeah, have a good service. You know what I mean? If I'm really a truly godly man, I want you to be with me when we in service. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure, I don't know, females like to do girls' night or whatever the case may be. But, maybe you want your man to be out with you with the club. But if we got two different stances, it's like, how are we ever going to flow in the same, in the same direction? I just feel like it's too much work. It can work. You can work anything if you work it. But why would you want to do that to yourself? With something long term.
You saying thank you? I didn't have a stance. You didn't accept that. Remember, you didn't accept my truth.
Listen.
You didn't accept my truth, sis.
I accept your truth, but what you're saying, who's to say what's godly? I feel like that's a real like.
My original answer was that I didn't have a stance.
Well, no, you cannot have a stance on it. That's fine. You don't have to have a stance on it.
I'm according to the saints, I'm not godly.
Hear my Lord. Thank you.
Can we?
I don't know.
I think we ain't spend enough time on that intimacy
to say to some comments. So can we wrap this up?
Oh, Chris said he don't think we spend enough time on intimacy. I think we should just wrap this up, Ron. Because I'm
tired. All right, you tired.
One of the few times I agree with Quentin.
It don't matter what I am. It's about y'all tonight, basically. You do.
May the Lord watch between.
I don't think.
Now it's all about us. After you done said all you needed to say.
What? Yo, I'm not doing this no more.
You have been talking most of the show.
Yeah, you talked the whole show.
Yeah, you talking. Yeah.
Are y'all serious?
Wait, Can I say this though? Can I say this though?
What's up?
I appreciate the fact that these types of conversations are happening. Why? Because it brings a certain level of understanding and assurance to the fact that there's always work to be done, and making sure that there's a healthy line of communication between men and women in general. Now, most of us aren't in relationship with one another. Q and Mel have the benefit of this being their platform, but they're also in relationship with one another. So they can hear the truths of other men and women and apply that as they see fit to their relationship. Some of the things that we see or hear in conversation with women who aren't ours, and I don't mean ours as in a way that we own you, but women that we are not in relationship with, it helps us gauge the perspective of relationship from a women's viewpoint differently. So I love the fact that these conversations happen. What I would like to see happen more is less of an approach where people are responding out of personal experience and trauma and removing the truth behind the words being spoken as they are not in relation to their personal experiences. This is not a platform or a conversation about your specific experience, but the truth about what people have in regards to what's being shared here. And I think when we have that in our trajectory and then that in our understanding, then we get great results at the end. Good conversation, but yeah.
What you say, Kevin?
I didn't say nothing.
All right, let's move along.
It's 9:30. It's 9:39. It's 9:39. We definitely had a good conversation today about relationships in the last episode. Even though, like I said before, the last episode was definitely important and it provoked everything that it was supposed to provoke. This episode we came on and spoke mostly about relationships, and Quanisha must be a prophet because that's the plan. Quanisha is to have another episode. Wifey got a lot going on, but to have an episode where we actually get some of the ladies, some of the guys on and have a conversation publicly and on live, of course, about what it is that we want to see in relationships. It's not just about what we want, or not just about what she wants or what he wants, but it's about what we need to show the next generation how to better love each other, as well as how to be better people moving forward. So that's it for tonight, everybody. We love you guys. Somebody said it's 2:39 a.m. where I am. Oh, we love you. Now, oh, that's now. Now we love you now. It's 2:39 a.m. where you are.
Oh, you crazy. Ain't no way I'd have been on this job.
Like the new cat, like UK. I think that's
yeah.
She love y'all. She love y'all.
We love you too. We love you too. So, fellas,
but Toya said without personal experience, there's nothing in comparison. But we're not here to compare. We're here to have a truthful conversation about what we think, what we feel that women could do to love us better. So there was never meant to be a conversation for comparison. And I think that's where the conversation goes out. We hear or we interject in conversation for the sake of, well, that ain't what I feel or that ain't how I feel. And it was never designed to be that way. Or am I wrong?
No, you're right. I think what it is just we're all sharing our different experiences, and being that we all have different vantage points and have had different experiences, we hope that we can cover the spread and that you can, grasp or garner whatever, good advice that you can from what we say. We're not saying it's set in stone. We're not saying that everything that we say is 100% right.
Right.
You can pretty much, we've gone through a plethora of different things, and I'm pretty sure that we've called at least somebody card, you know what I mean, or something that we can take.
Absolutely. So, wifey's gone. She got to go take care of Mike, and Mike is thrown up again. So, fellas, let's leave the ladies with something that they could meditate on, something they can think with or think about, and we're going to end like that.
Peace and blessings.
BJ, Chris. He said peace and blessings. BJ, Chris, Kev.
Okay, I can't say what I was about to say. I can't say that.
Oh man.
Are we saying something to the ladies to help them? Is that what it is?
And this is your closing comment. You know what I'm saying? Something to the ladies.
I'm gonna say this to men and women because I don't want to be sexist, right? And this applies to all of us. We gotta let the hurt go. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
When we find ourselves in hurt places and with a hurt or victim mindset, that's where we stay. Instead of looking at it like, how can I come out of this, or how can I make my situation better, or how can I move forward? You know what I'm saying? Just let it go. Give it to God, since we godly.
Yeah, I'm not doing this with y'all, man. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. And I'm supposed to be the one that's supposed to behave.
See, I told you, you right where you need to be, bro. You right where you need to be.
No, we knew you and BJ were the equivalent. What you say, Mel?
Speaking for me.
I'm saying it from a perspective of a church kid. Like Mel, no, I've done this from little, from the radiator in the back of New Hope. So,
absolutely. All right, Kev, Chris, closing remarks.
I think I've said enough, bro. I don't know if I have anything to close with. This, I'm grateful for this space. This space allows us. Well, I don't know if I could say that because we don't ever get to just be who we need to be. But this space has given us the opportunity for healthy dialogue, and I appreciate that. That's my closing remark.
I love it. Go ahead, Chris.
Be his peace, Piece, and be his peace, Peace.
Come on, Pastor.
Come on.
Damn.
Bless him.
Damn.
All right. You got to be a two-piece.
A two-piece.
And a biscuit.
Yeah, man. It was funny you said I went to Popeyes and Popeyes ain't have no biscuits. How about that?
Man. Why you want them dry biscuits?
Why they open?
I don't know. But long story short, to everyone, the better you are, the better love you can make. The better love you can make, the better you can impact, and the better difference you can make in that person's life, as well as in a relationship, as well as the better light you can shine for the couple or for the people that's coming behind you. Because the reality is, everyone is looking at your relationship and saying you guys are the goals. With all the problems you have, with all the hell you guys put each other through, someone is looking at you and saying, that's my couple goals. Those are big goals. You know what I'm saying? So put the work in. You know what I'm saying? Love better, do better, and watch this make the world a better place. I love you guys. This is the Truth Moment Podcast, and the truth is Jesus loves you, and so do we. Peace. I'll see you next time.